J.J. Watt, the perfect example that parents want their kids to idolize when they're growing up. J.J. Watt has always been a guy who I looked up to as a kid, and I really sought after to be like, with my aspirations to grow a professional athlete one day. My parents were always like, oh yeah, look up to J.J., look up and see how he does in the community, and not only on the field, but off the field. J.J. Watt has always had an immediate impact as soon as he came into the Houston community after getting drafted, not only on the field, but off the field as well. JJ started a foundation called the JJ Watt Foundation as soon as he got to Houston, and it was all due to the fact that his personal life experiences growing up from a kid. The JJ Watt Foundation was founded because of an experience that he had where kids necessarily didn't have the money or the resources to participate in sports, and because at one point in JJ's life he didn't have enough money to play hockey when he was up in Wisconsin growing up. The JJWattFoundation.org states that their about us statement or their mission statement is to provide after-school opportunities for middle school age kids in the community to become involved in athletics, so they can learn many character traits that will help them development through their lifetime. This is just a personal foundation that JJ wanted to start, and how he really felt like he could give back to the community in such a personal way. One of their big fundraisers they do every year is a charity softball game. It's where he usually takes his football team and divides it into offense and defense, and they play a giant softball game. In the past couple of years, it's been at Minute Maid Park in Houston, which is the Astros Stadium, and I've gone to it a couple times, and it's really awesome to see how the players on his team really get behind him and push this movement that he has such strong feelings about. With his platform, he also started a Hurricane Harvey relief system when Houston was hit by a hurricane about four and a half years ago. This hurricane decimated the city. It flooded everywhere. It was terrible. Up and down the Texas coast, there was wind damage, water damage, flood damage, everything. But that season in the NFL, JJ was hurt and was out for the season. But he didn't pout about it. He didn't just cry over it. He decided as soon as this hurricane hit, he was going to start a donation platform. And I think his original goal was around $100,000. And he ended up raising $41.6 million, which is insane. And ABC13.com, which is a local news site here in Houston, states that $41.6 million is the largest crowdsourced fundraiser ever. And this is amazing that he used his platform to accomplish something that is a world record, and really to help the city that he loves and the city that he's been taken into with open arms. And it's awesome how he's come to us and the city has come to him, and they've just battled together to create and rebuild Houston, really. I remember watching the news here when all the hurricane stuff went down, and people were getting interviewed, and they said they were going to FEMA, and FEMA was telling them that their only option right now is to wait and see what J.J. Watt does with the money. Emily Karen states that 1,183 homes in Houston, Texas, 971 children's centers and after-school programs, 108,000 kids, and 293 million meals were provided during this hurricane relief system by JJ and all the donors that partaked in his donation site. JJ Watt's hard work during this time with the relief program and his foundation really was exemplified by winning the Walter Payton Man of the Year award and the NFL honors. And this is one of the greatest awards around the league, and I think a lot of players take pride in it more so than any other award. And this award just shows to the player that this is the greatest player who gave back to the community the most this year. And this award was really, I think, hands down JJ's to lose, and he didn't lose it. He won it, and it was awesome seeing that his hard work and efforts were paid off by getting this award. JJ is a once-in-a-lifetime person, and he's someone that needs to be appreciated and people can't take for granted. You don't get people like this very often, and people like this very often don't come around, and just people need to know about him, and people really need to appreciate what he's done for the community and how he's really helped and set an example and set a standard for people coming through the Houston Texan organization, people growing up. J.J. Watt is someone that I am going to tell my kids about, and I hope every generation keeps talking about J.J. Watt, just not because of the impact he made on the field, but off the field as well.